Duncan, Taylordean, have a seat here, young man. Good to have you on board. Welcome to Change Ribshack. Eric set the table for you, kind of laid out things.
Yeah,
Talk
nice.
about this North. Grab a hush puppy if you're hungry for one. Grab one. You're good?
Yeah,
What do you think's been the secret to the Northern Guilford Nighthawks' success, not only this year, but the whole time you've been playing for these guys?
really preparation. The coaches do a lot on Sundays. I think they work from, I want to say 1 in the afternoon to 8 or 9 at night.
Just about 8 hours on Sunday.
Just watching film.
Breaking it down.
Us and of the next week. So we usually get a scouting report every Monday. We know what their favorite plays are, what their favorite blitzes are, and we know where they're coming and what they like to do in what situation.
And set us up, you're on the offensive line as well, right?
Yes, sir.
What position?
Left tackle.
Left tackle. So you're at left tackle, Eric's at right guard. Who's the left guard there beside you?
Jalen Hollins.
Jalen
Hollins.
Mm-hmm. Is he a fairly new player this year?
Actually, we're in a pretty nice situation where last year, this is pretty much the entire starting line, except for we lost our left guard last year, Max Cleach, but he was injured some games, so Jalen got some starting experience.
It's pretty good. What happened? You lost 2 down from last year?
Max Cleach.
Yeah, that was the kid I used to see his name. That was a kid I thought was a German kid. I remember that name. I used to always write that name on my little roster for the games.
He's huge.
He was there for a while, too.
Yeah, he started as a sophomore, too, on the 2011 and 2012 championship
Were
teams.
you on some of the championship teams?
Oh, yes, sir. I started tight end on the 2012 team.
Wow, so you were at tight end back in the day.
Yeah.
Did you have any balls thrown your way during that championship game?
Oh, no, I was...
Primary blocker?
Yeah, I was an offensive lineman. They moved me to tight end like the week before we played Page that year.
Wow, so you got moved there early in the season, too, because that Page game was early.
That was when I stopped playing defense.
Wow. Moved you from defense to offense.
Well, I couldn't go to any of the defensive stuff because I had to learn tight end. I'd never played it.
Interesting. Are you playing any defense at all these days or no?
No, I'd say 4th, 5th string maybe.
Interesting. Who's the toughest defensive player on that Northern Guilford squad, you think?
The one I go against in practice every day is Trey. And it's hard to block Trey because he's got these long arms. You can't touch him when he puts
Trey Marsh, right?
Trey Marsh, yes, sir.
Man, this kid, I'll tell you what, Eric, I talked to everybody. I watched some of that film today. I guess I got lucky. Somebody sent me that film from the Northwest Guilford and Michael Northern Guilford game last Friday night. And I'm watching Trey Marsh. To me, I may be wrong. Maybe I'm speaking out of school, as they may say. That guy could be the most improved player on that team this year. In the past couple weeks, he's just gone 8 wild man crazy. You know,
he had to be most improved. He didn't even play last year.
There you go, because he had to sit out that part of that. I remember that too. Yeah, but man, I tell you what, the guy from the beginning of this year, even up to now, he's just been going crazy receiving that ball.
Yeah.
And even when he gets the ball in his hands, I've been impressed with the way this guy's going with it.
Oh yeah, that's another thing with preparation and coaching. Every week we want to get better and better, and that goes for individuals and as a team.
It's good to have him as a weapon too, because people are always so concerned about Luke Reynolds coming in. That's their primary receiver. But you get a guy like Trey Marsh, and you get the Simmons kid's going to catch a few passes too. Get some other guys involved. And I'll tell you another guy we should not leave out, number 7, Tucker Horde, one heck of a receiver. Also Max Maynard, number 25, some excellent receivers too.
We've got all sorts of skill players.
Got some weapons, that's for sure. But the Marsh kid has just really blown me away. The
matchup problem, for sure.
Yeah, big time matchup problem because he's so big and he's had good hands. And the guy, to me, watching that film today, he won't go down.
That's true, yeah. No one likes to go down on our team.
I can see that. Now, for your standpoint, what's been the hardest and the toughest game? Was it the Eastern Alamance game? You lost that game, or was it the Eastern Guilford game, a game which was close? What's been the toughest game this year?
Probably for me personally, it was a Page game. Just 'cause it's the first game of the season. You got to get back in the groove of things. And the defensive end who was up against me, he was pretty good. He's probably he might have been the best defensive end I've played against so far this year.
Do you remember who he was?
He was number 8.
Got to give that guy a shout. I got to look at that. It's probably that Durham guy. Yeah, that's who it is. He was wearing 52 on early roster. He switched number 8. Durham. Yeah, I think he's a junior, good-sized kid. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But other than that, as a team, definitely Eastern Alamance was most challenging just because we weren't all together.
Their quarterback, I talked to, we had C.J. Freeman, who was here one night with us at Shane's a couple weeks back, talked to C.J. a little bit. We also talked to Max Maynard. Talked to C.J. about this kid on that the Lamont guy, John Lamont, the quarterback.
What number was he?
I don't know, just the QB, junior QB for Eastern Alamance. Just had a heck of a game, not only throwing the ball against you guys, but running the ball too. He was a huge weapon that night.
Yeah, he was just one of those guys. He was pretty fast, and that's something we take pride in. So hopefully we get to play him again in the playoffs, and hopefully that won't happen again.
What do you think is going to be the deal when you get to the playoffs? You got 5 games. The first one's the most important because you got to win every week there on down the road. What's the most important thing for Northern? Get things straight tomorrow night with Moorhead. Take care of the Moorhead Panthers tomorrow night. What's the most important thing to make that playoff run come together?
Just take every week. Don't worry about. We want to play. Obviously, the whole team's looking forward to playing Crest, but we can't look too far ahead in the future. We got to just look at the first opponent and then hopefully win, and the next opponent, and then keep going.
When those brackets come out on Saturdays, you guys got to make sure you look at that first bracket. Don't look a little further down the road because everybody loves to see who you might be playing. If we go in here, we go here, all that. We always match those things up. But Crest is going to be in there somewhere. There's no doubt about that.
Just Sharpie everybody out but the first week and print a new one for the next week.
What about a matchup with a team? I mean, we're doing all this speculation. What about a matchup with a team like Southern Guilford? That'd be an interesting matchup.
Oh, yeah. I think we might have played Southern last year.
Played them 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That's when they had the kid Malik Mosley, and then they had Reggie Gillespie, who was doing so well there. Now he was with those guys. He was a sophomore back then. They played him at your place in round 3 that year.
Yeah, I do remember them. I think we had a little banner. It was like, I don't know, Civil War, because it's North beating South or whatever.
Exactly, yeah, the Northern Guilford versus exactly back in the day. And that was the year you guys got going, I think, maybe with Asheboro, somebody like that, round 1.
Oh, yeah, Asheboro.
You got rolling after that. Yeah, because you played Coach Doug Henderson's son in round 1. He was at Asheboro then, and you remember who you kicked in Guilford round 2. I remember Southern
might have been Eastern Guilford.
It might have been Eastern Guilford round 2. Then you kicked in Southern round 3, then here comes Wilson Hunt. He used to always go to their place. They came to your place in round 4, which would be the Eastern Section State Championship, then on to the championship game. And that one was against Crest because you played them 2 years in a row, right?
Oh, Charlotte Catholic.
Catholic, because you played Crest.
The first 2.
Yeah, exactly, the first 2, then Charlotte Catholic the second one. Boy, interesting run there. Yeah, because you're going up. The weird thing is you guys went up against Elijah Hood in that game. Then Dudley's got to turn around and play Elijah Hood in their playoffs last year in round 4 before they go to the States. Elijah Hood twice.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. But Catholic was in, yeah. Hunt was in, you're right, because Hunt was in round 4. Then Catholic was over at Wake Forest in the championship game because that's the night TJ ran for 8 touchdowns and 500 and some yards. Yeah. Interesting stuff. And he ran for 8 touchdowns, and he was probably wearing number 8 that night, I guess.
Oh, he was.
His
yeah.
high school number. His college number 2, I believe, as well. A lot of memories. I remember a lot of those games. Duncan, Taylor, what got you started playing football? When did you start? What got you going?
I started in 7th grade. It was just one of those things, you watch the NFL. You want to play sports, so you play football. And 7th grade was the first year of middle school. I'm allowed to play, so I played.
And who were you playing for Northern back then?
No, I played for Lincoln Middle School.
Lincoln, really?
Yes, sir.
So you're over on Lincoln Street. Man, you're over my old neck of the woods, Dudley neighborhood, man. You're right there with Lincoln. That's some good scrapping football over there.
Nice place,
Tell me I'm wrong, but I think Lincoln Hornets, that was the nickname?
Yes, sir.
A lot of these nicknames are crazy in the middle schools. You don't know who you're going to be because you're not affiliated with it. Sometimes you're not affiliated with your high school. You got a different nickname. You got the Lincoln Hornets, you got the Kaiser Tigers, Jamestown Tigers, Guilford Tigers. You got 3, I don't know why they gave 3 teams the same name. We've got all these different things we could use, but you're playing for Lincoln. That was some scrappy football back then. Did you go up against Harrison? Play them?
Yeah, we played them every year.
That's good stuff right there.
Well, we were pretty bad, though. I think we only had 1 win in 2 years. We beat Wellborn, I think.
Wellborn, yeah. People usually, the team they used to beat in the high point was always Penn Griffin. Penn Griffin was the team. The teams here.
They forfeited twice against us.
Yeah, they were kind of like a school of the arts, I think, type school. Yeah. You remember these teams pretty well. What about Eric Hahn? What can you tell us about Eric as a teammate? We said about Eric. Let's put him on the spot here.
So did Eric tell you he was injured earlier this year?
No.
Well, Eric went out against Western Alamance. Okay. And they told him then that he'd be out for the whole season. And they said, the doctor said, if you're lucky, you might be able to play on it if we are fortunate enough to make it to the state championship game. And then every week, every time he goes back to the doctor, they say, oh, maybe get back a little earlier, maybe a little earlier. And now he's out of the boot this week. And I'm not saying he's playing Friday, but he might be.
Close.
Yeah, he's definitely worked hard. And I think the way he worked, with rehab and getting healthy, it's everything about him. He works hard all the time.
That's a good example for the teammates, too.
Yes, sir.
On top of that, Eric Hahn, right on top of that, coming out of that boot, had that injury against Western Alamance. That was a tight game for you guys because you had that stretch, Western Alamance, Eastern Alamance, I think Eastern Guilford almost on top of each other. What about the Eastern Guilford game? I was at that game. That was a battle. It was a war.
Yeah, that was something. I don't really remember that game, the specifics. I just remember, I think it was their pink out.
It was, yeah.
And think we had the 2-point conversion to win.
You had a 2-point conversion. Was a question about the 2-point conversion. Was the ball in the hands when they crossed the goal line, and then
it was weird. Yeah,
all kind of
the refs. We were out there in the. So if you were there, you said so you must have seen the Eastern Guilford players sprint back to their sideline cheering. That was because the one ref said
he said no good.
He said, oh, that's not good. He fouled it before.
Sideline ref, yeah.
Yeah, and then they had that little conference, and me and Jamon, we were talking to him. We were like, no, he was in, and then. We just ran back like, oh, that's it. We got to do an onside kick, coach. He said it's no good, and then he said it was good. Yeah. Yeah,
and you said Jamon. That would have been Luke, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Exactly. Duncan Taylordean with us. Duncan, where's the family from? Family background?
Well, my dad was born in Ohio, and my mom was born in Delaware, and they met at the University of Michigan.
Wow. And you guys have been here for a long time?
Yes, I was born in Alabama, and we moved here in 2001.
Wow, so you got Alabama in your blood, you got Michigan, you got Ohio, you got Delaware. It's a pretty good breed right there. Where do you go to college at next time?
Oh, I don't know. There's just options.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Any good ones?
Maybe.
Possibilities looming out there, huh?
Yeah.
You want to take care of your football stuff here?
Yeah, I'm kind of, one thing at a time. Right now, just try to do well in school and do well in football.
How's school going for you? Going good?
It's going all right, yeah.
Yeah. But any other sports besides football for you?
Not for the school, but I do play basketball and soccer outside of school.
Huh. Is that a soccer jacket you got on tonight?
Oh, it is. GYSA.
I thought it was. I saw this guy's got the Adidas. He's got the soccer emblem on. There's a little. What position in soccer?
I play center back.
Center backs. You're playing defense back there then. Gotcha. And you said a little basketball too?
Yeah, just like rec ball, Prolific Park.
Parks and Recreation Center?
Yeah.
Gotcha. No chance you might play for Coach Bill Chambers, Northern Guilford Nighthawks?
No, I think I played for, I don't know how many years he's been here. I might have played, because I played JV freshman and sophomore year. And then I just figured, not
Here's
going
a
to be
big
playing.
question. What if Trey Marsh will play this year? I guess he'll play basketball this year.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, the kid's an athlete. I mean, I saw him in that doggone stinking film. I can't get that number 2 out of my mind when he was making those catches and making those runs. Duncan Taylordean with us. Who's the first teacher you remember having in school?
Ever? Or like?
Yeah, ever, yeah.
Miss Barrett was my kindergarten teacher.
Miss Barrett, what school was that?
At Laughlin Primary School.
Is that over in Summerfield?
Yeah.
B-A-R-E? Barrett?
Not Bear, Barrett.
Barrett. I thought for a second because there's a Ron Bear, the coach at Northwest, man. His wife was a teacher, but Miss Barrett. Gotcha. Laughlin and Summerfield. Who taught you how to play football? Or did you pick it up in the backyard?
Yeah, just playing around, catching it and stuff. And then my first coach in 7th grade was Coach Peppers and Coach Quick.
And that was at Lincoln?
Yes.
Gotcha. So your first ever coaches. The first baseball team you played for?
I don't know. I played Little League ball. I don't really like it, but I picked it up again in middle school. Wasn't that good, but in Little League, you're the Tigers and all those teams.
Who'd you? What area was that?
It was the Summerfield Rec teams.
Good baseball out there. The nickname of the team you guys are playing tomorrow, Moorhead?
I know McMichael was the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Nah, maybe Panthers?
There you go. Yeah, because we got the Moorhead Panthers, the Dudley Panthers, the Ledford Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, and Moorhead Panthers. I don't know if it matters. I had to look it up today myself. I forgot it too. Had to go back and look that up. That's kind of crazy. What have you learned the most from Coach Roscoe? What's he taught you the most?
Probably that the little things matter. Because we really work a lot on taking the right steps and having right hand placements, going to the right person. Because he really the main thing he says every week is that it's not the big plays that win games, it's the little plays.
So we got to take care of the details.
Yeah, because defensively, if we don't allow big plays, then they're going to have to drive on us. And then offensively, as long as we don't have turnovers and stuff, then they're not going to have easy chances.
Here's what got him mad. I bet he was mad at Eastern game when Moorhead had about a 94-yard run. Remember the long run up the right side? That was a big play.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of big plays this season. Had a big play, a couple of big plays, Page and Dudley last week. What about favorite class at Northern?
Probably Microsoft.
That's doing the computer work?
Yes.
Do they just give you a computer and say, do a little work on your own here? They actually come around and teach you?
Yeah, she teaches us. It's Miss Bowden is the teacher. She teaches us different shortcuts and stuff, and we practice writing up different things.
So you do a little word processing too, and hit the printer and print them out. And good stuff. I like that. Toughest class you've ever taken while in school?
Probably English.
The English class,
yeah.
high school level?
Yeah.
Who's your high school English teacher now?
Miss Beatty. Probably my hardest English was last year with Miss LaRock.
Miss who?
Miss LaRock.
LaRock.
Yeah. It's just hard to get the essays and stuff correct.
And are you liking the senior year? Are you? This is senior year for you, right?
Yeah.
Are you glad? You liking it and glad it's about over, or you just?
Well,
who knows?
it's. Right now is obviously probably the hardest part, just because it's got the most going on with college and football. But yeah, I definitely like it. Yeah.
Is it going too fast or all right for you?
It's about the right speed.
Right speed. Football's got to help. Got to help being a senior, having football season going on. What will it take for your team to bring the championship back to Northern Guilford again?
Just not overlooking any team. We can't take any team for granted and think they're just, they're playing us, so they're going to be taking it easy. That's what we learned this year at Eastern Alamance was teams aren't going to take it easy because they're playing us. They're going to give us their all. So we just got to really look at each team equally.
You mentioned Crest earlier. Did you guys see Crest in a preseason scrimmage?
Yeah, we play them every year preseason.
I thought so. How did that go this year? Pretty equally matched?
They beat us. I mean, they don't keep score in the scrimmage, but I think they beat us like 21-14 or 14-7.
Pretty evenly matched most of the way then.
Yeah, here and there. Totally different team though now, both ways.
Both this stage of the season.
Us and them, yeah.
Yeah, things have changed. Got to get Eric back to win that game tomorrow night. Try to get Eric Hahn back in there against Moorhead. Here's your coaching decision, Coach Duncan Taylordean. Got to make the decision. Is it better to go ahead and bring him back against Moorhead to get him back and get him used to ingrained in the system again, or is it better let him rest this week, bring him back for the playoffs? That's a tough decision.
Well, I mean, we've been working well so far. Maybe give him a play or two, but I want
to back in gradually.
I wouldn't want to nothing goal line or anything because I think that's where his injury happened. Might have been a quarterback sneak.
Yeah, the jam up plays.
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows?
Shane's Ribshack for a Thursday Football in Focus, and top player to come out of Northern Guilford. Who would you say? Would you say T.J. Logan? Would you say Christian McCain? Or would you say Keenan Allen?
Oof, I'd say it's too early to tell. They're all different stages of their career right now. Keenan was just as dominant as TJ was in high school and at college, so maybe TJ has a shot to be as good, and who knows, we have more too, maybe.
You might have another one coming out too. Maybe this Reynolds kid, this Harris kid, this CJ Freeman kid, this Eric Hahn kid. He may blow some people away. This Duncan Taylor. You never know. Like you say, things could happen even bigger. Of all the high school teams in Guilford County, which one do you enjoy going up against the most?
In Guilford County, probably Northwest, because it's always funny how they think like, we're gonna get them this year. They don't.
It never happens. And Page is one you probably enjoy going up against too, I guess.
Yeah, Page. I like Page mostly because it's just the first game of the season, and it's always nice to get out there.
Start out against a pretty good name opponent like that too. Page was maybe having a down year this year to a certain degree, so to be playing something like Page opening game, that says a lot right there.
Yeah, it's also it's a good game because sometimes we play before school even starts, like the Friday and school starts Monday, so that's always nice. Yeah.
People love to come back while it's still kind of in the summertime as well. Okay, let's see. NBA championship. You had a chance to win one. Who would the key player you'd have with you along that front line? Would you bring up Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, or Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan.
In his prime, right?
Yeah.
I think you're right about that. I think Michael still tops the other two if you're looking at their prime.
Easily, yes.
The dunk or the three-point shot, which do you prefer?
I mean, three-pointer is more points, so probably the three.
That's a good man. Eric is our man who breaks it down analytically, but he did not think about that. You just whipped him on that. It's kind of like the Jeopardy program. I love Jeopardy, watching how they battle there, but that does make sense. Duncan, you were thinking while you were over there. I know that makes a heck of a lot of sense. You're getting the three instead of the two. Good job right there. Could you defeat or knock off P.J. Harrison and Horse?
When he had his broken wrist, I could probably take him.
When he was injured, you take him out. But you got to make sure that injury came on that shooting hand. From a standing position, or maybe we just taking a couple of steps forward, how far can you throw a football?
At practice the other day, Max Maynard, he was talking a little trash, so we had a little contest. I threw 49 and he threw 47.
Wow, not bad at all. Right to midfield. That's almost covering half the field. 49, not bad
Almost,
at all.
yeah.
Did you know you had it in you?
Well, I knew I could beat him. I didn't know I'd go that far.
Not bad at all. 49 yards. How bad does Clemson beat Wake Forest tonight?
It's at Wake, right?
Yeah.
I think we got a couple guys going to that game. I think CJ might be taking a little visit tonight. But if it's at Wake, Clemson needs to watch out.
Could be an upset to make it.
Wake is one of those basketball, football at home. Who knows?
Good thoughts, and I just hope that they don't look at TJ too close and try to get him in that game. And instead, they may need him tonight. Need him for the future. A couple more questions for Duncan Taylordean here this evening. Here at Shane's Ribshack, the fastest player you've ever seen, football-wise.
Ever played with would have to be easily TJ.
Right.
Ever seen? I've seen a couple of college guys. Keyshawn Martin, you know him. He played for Michigan State. Plays for the Texans now. He was really fast when I saw him. But those two are probably the fastest.
This guy, I read about him today, I think on ESPN.com. This kid, Marcus Lattimore out of South Carolina, the good running back from years ago.
That retirement.
Yeah, he was fast, but now his whole career's done.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. You never know. Strongest player you've ever seen?
I mean, again, seen, definitely probably Jake Long.
Okay.
But played with probably Ryan Johnston.
Ryan Johnston up on that front defensive line.
Yeah, he was huge.
That guy could do some things.
Yeah.
Didn't weigh a ton, weighed enough, but
I think he weighed more than he looked.
220?
Me or him?
Him.
He probably weighed 240.
Solid 240. How about yourself? 210?
I'm like 220.
220?
Yeah.
That's solid for the offensive line. Can't beat that. Carolina Panthers coming up on Monday night. Back in action. Monday Night Football going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles got a backup quarterback coming in. I'm trying to who they're going with. I think they're going to.
Sanchez.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez out of the Jets.
Yeah.
Panthers going to win that game.
I'm hoping not. I got LaShawn McCoy on my fantasy team, so I'm kind of pulling for him to have a big night.
So you're working the fantasy club on the side a little bit here too.
Yeah.
Got a lot of irons in the fire here. Duncan Taylordean does at Shane's Ribshack. Best team in the triangle this year: Duke, North Carolina, or NC State?
At football?
Yeah.
I guess you said triangle. Otherwise, I'd have to say ECU.
I left them out this time.
Yeah, but in the triangle, I got to go with TJ
and North
UNC.
Carolina. I think they're all going up against each other the next couple of weeks. These games are coming up pretty quick. State Carolina, Duke Carolina, and so on. If you had a chance to suit up, play for any college team in the nation this Saturday, who would you play for? Michigan, Michigan State, one of those guys, or something?
I don't know. Maybe that's probably what's the big matchup? Is like Ole Miss playing someone big this week?
I don't know. They've lost 2 games in a row now. They're kind of out of contention. Mississippi State.
Oh, you know what? I'd probably play for Oregon just because you get a lot of free stuff.
Yep, get a lot of good jerseys. That's about 5 or 6 or 7.
Probably 3 pairs of sneakers just for being there.
Combination. And the shoes are important.
Yeah.
How they fit are very important. Best chance to win their conference this season: NC A&T or Guilford?
I got to go with A&T. Yeah.
MEAC champs, Aggies of A&T. Would you choose the chocolate cake, the chocolate shake, or the chocolate brownie?
Probably chocolate shake.
Take the shake. What about the hush puppy? Did you try one of those yet?
No, not yet.
Got to get one before you leave. That's a prerequisite. You got to get that done. On the game day Friday, breakfast of champions for you. Do you go with the Wheaties, the Captain Crunch, the pancakes, or other?
I had chocolate chip pancakes going for me, and then we lost to Eastern Alabama, so I had to throw in something else. So chocolate chip pancakes and Canadian bacon now has been the.
Eat that at home?
Yes, sir.
That's good stuff. I got to give credit to whoever's doing the cooking. That's a good selection there.
That's my dad. Yeah.
Your dad's doing the Friday morning meal, chocolate chip pancakes and Canadian bacon. Man, anytime you get Canadian bacon as opposed to just regular bacon, you have stepped up the numbers quite a bit. Other than Shane's Ribshack, your favorite restaurant out there somewhere in the restaurant road? Favorite restaurant?
On Tuesdays, it's got to be Rio Grande. Taco Tuesdays, 99-cent tacos.
Okay. Where are they located?
They're located off, I think the road's 150. It's right between Northern and my house. So
near where you live out that way in that neighborhood. Rio Grande. Got to give those guys a mention. Duncan, no problem for you tonight. Did a very good job. I think Luke and maybe Cam headed to Wake Forest to check out that game.
Yeah.
We had a chance to get those guys. Do me a favor if you will.